um, and the pledge at this time.
Everybody will please bow. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here to do your work, Lord. I pray that you will be with each of us as we make decisions for our schools, and that you will guide us to do what would be pleasing to you. Dear Lord, watch over us and be with us in the Lord's name we pray. Amen.
Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we thank Ms. Gibson and Ms. Bailey for the invitation. We'll note that all board members are here except Mr. McMillan. At this time, this is January, is School Board Recognition Month, and I guess I just thank the board members.
Well, there are some gifts and things here for you. I think in the past, sometimes we've had our principals have students come in and deliver gifts and candy and things, but they brought the bags for you this time. And on behalf of all the principals, we do appreciate our school board. We welcome you. As students get back into school on Tuesday for traditional learning, we want to be sure to invite you to come in and come into your schools or any of the schools, eat lunch, eat breakfast. But we appreciate everything that our school board does here in Bibb County. And this may not be the only gifts. There may be some others coming, but we'll be sure to get those to you from our students in the schools. But again, January is always School Board Appreciation Month, and we really appreciate our board members, and we're looking forward to Mr. Mike maybe joining us back at our next regular scheduled meeting.
Okay, and again, to all the students that participated, we have these nice cookies and gift bags. I think everybody received one. We thank you for your contributions. At this time, we'll have the approval of the agenda.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any nays? The agenda is approved. The superintendent recommends the approval of the minutes from December 8th board meeting.
I make a motion to approve them.
Sorry.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Are there any discussions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposes? Okay, we have the approval of the minutes. We will receive financials and bank reconciliations for November 2020. Item B, we request to approve the bills for December 2020.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion, second. Is there any discussion?
Board members, I would like to point out, many of you have already been speaking to our new CSFO, Craig Hodge. Craig officially began with our school system officially last Monday, January the 4th. And he's not required to do any presentation here for you to approve the bills, but this being his first official board meeting with us, I just wanted to point him out and welcome Craig. We're glad you finally made it here. We're glad to have you, and we know you've been busy with webinars this week with Power School finance and everything, but welcome aboard. Ms. Jones, I just wanted to recognize Mr. Hodge. You've got a motion and a second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposes? Okay, the recommendation is approved. Action and consent, request to approve the extension of the FFCRA COVID sick leave days through March 31st, 2021.
I make a motion. Second.
Any discussion?
This is the FFCRA's, the federal government's COVID, the 10 days of sick leave. Originally, that was granted through December 31st of 2020, and it expired on December 31st. But on December the, I think, 27th, federal government authorized new stimulus package, new coronavirus relief. And in that, they did not renew the 10 days, but said that any entity that could grant the days, if any employees had not used them yet, they can have through March 31st to use those COVID days. Now, we have many employees who have already used all or most of those 10 days for COVID leave, but we have others who never used those days. Thankfully, they never had to. All this does is you're approving an extension of the ability to use those days through March 31st. Let me be clear, no employees, they're not getting a new additional 10 days. They've just got until March 31st now, 3 more months, to use any of those 10 days if they haven't used them already. Okay.
Mr. McGee.
Yes, sir.
That includes not only the teacher or school personnel being sick with COVID, but any member of their family that they have
This
to
only,
have.
this
Is that
only
right?
extends to employees.
Sir?
This only extends to our employees.
So if
Now,
they've got a child. or
yeah, no, it
husband-
does. If they need to take any kind of leave to take care of a child, to take care of themselves, to take care of a spouse, they can use these days.
That's what I was.
Yes, sir.
trying to
That's
find
right.
out. Thank you.
Mr. McGee,
Yes, ma'am.
how is our adults,
How's our,
how, the adults getting well, our teachers?
they are, our district nurse, Maggie Tucker, just sent me today an updated list. And I'm a little concerned that maybe our parents haven't started reporting fully. We sent out an all-call today to remind parents that if their child is tested positive for COVID, please let the school know. But as far as our adult employees in the school system, probably only 1 or 2 right now at this time that I know of that are positive for COVID. So we're in pretty good shape right now. The cases in the county have been up over the last few weeks, but even those numbers have started to fall somewhat. So as far as employees, we're in good shape right now.
Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second.
They have to approve it.
Okay, all right, we have the motion and second, okay. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposers? Okay, item B, the superintendent recommends the following policies be received / approved. We have the sick leave bank for personnel, sick leave bank guidelines for personnel, sick leave bank enrollment form, sick leave bank loan form, sick leave bank withdrawal form, procedures for sick leave due to catastrophic illness for personnel, catastrophic sick leave approval form. Do I have a motion? A second?
make a motion.
Second.
Are there any discussions? And we did receive a copy of these at the last board meeting. No discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Okay. The superintendent recommends the approval of the following contracted services. A, request to approve payment to Chris Parks for field maintenance, West Blockton High School. Payment of $750 will be made from West Blockton High School local school funds.
I make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? B, request to approve payment to Angela Smitherman Johnson to teach choreography for Majorette Clinic, January 18th through the 22nd, 2021, Centerville Middle School. Payment of $75 will be made from Centerville Middle School, a local school funds.
I make a motion.
Second motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Request to approve payment to, I'm sorry. Request to approve payment to judges for majorette trials, January 22nd, 2021, Centerville Middle School. Payment of $50 per judge will be made from Centerville Middle School local school funds.
I make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carries. Request to approve payment to judge for auxiliary tryouts, February 6, 2021, Bibb County High School. Payments of $100 will be made from Bibb County High School local school funds.
Make a motion.
I second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Okay, motion carries. Request to approve payment to judges for cheer tryouts, January 30th, 2021, Centerville Middle School and Bibb County High School. Payments of $135 for the head judge and $100 per additional judge will be made from Centerville Middle School and Bibb County High School local school funds. Motion.
Motion.
I second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carries. Request to approve payment to Bethany Fields for choreography and instruction for Color Guard Clinic, February 8th through 12th, 2021, West Blockton High School. Payment of $125 will be made from West Blockton High School local school funds.
Make a motion.
I second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carries. Request to approve payments to Ashlyn Partridge for choreography and instruction for Majorette Clinic, February 8th through 12th, 2021, West Blockton High School. Payment of $125 will be made from West Blockton High School local school funds.
I make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carries. Request to approve payment to judges for majorette trials, February 12, 2021, West Lockton High School. Payment of $75 per judge will be made from West Lockton High School local funds.
I make a motion.
Second motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Okay, motion carries. Request to approve payment to judges for color guard trials, February 12, 2021, West Lockton High School. Payment of $75 per judge will be made from West Lockton High School local school funds.
I make a motion. I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carries. Request to approve payment of Ashla Sullivan to provide cheer competition routine cleanup, January 19, 2021, West Lockton High School. Payment of $380 will be made from West Lockton High School local school funds, plus $10 per athlete per hour.
I make the motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion?
It is that time of year for tryouts for all of these. Cheer tryouts, majorette, color guard, dance line. As always, January, February is usually when these are done. So thank you for wading through these tonight.
One question,
Yes, sir.
to show my ignorance. What is cheer competition routine cleanup? I know it's not coming behind and cleaning up, I'm sure, but just out of curiosity.
I think-
Does anybody here know?
I think, if I may, and I may show my ignorance, but it's the judge, the person is looking at them perform the routine and cleaning up any errors or missteps or
That sounds
or
reasonable.
anything, just cleaning up the drill is what I think that means. And I'll ask Dr. P, am I right on that? Is that what cleanup is? Right. It's cleaning up the actual routine
Well,
from,
thank you. The
from,
only way to learn is to ask questions. I've heard that somewhere.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Okay, motion carries. Approval of bids. A, approval of bid for Bibb County Career Academy welding relocation and female restroom. The superintendent recommends awarding the bid for Bibb County Career Academy welding location and female restroom to Snow Blakeney Construction in the amount of $210,650.
I'll make it a motion.
Second motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carries. Approval of bid for Bibb County High School Athletics Multi-Purpose Facility. The superintendent recommends awarding the bid for Bibb County High School Multi-Purpose Facility to Mason and Associates Incorporation in the amount of $5,268,500. Motion and second.
I make a motion.
I second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carries on that way. Approval of trips. The superintendent recommends the approval of the following field trips. Request approval for Bibb County High School baseball team to travel to Troy, Alabama for a tournament on March 5th, 2021, and return on March 6th, 2021. Students will travel in private vehicles and stay overnight.
I make a motion. I second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carries. Request approval for Bibb County High School baseball team to travel to Gulf Shores for a tournament on March 22nd through 26th, 2021. Students will travel in private vehicles and stay overnight.
I make a motion. I second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes?
Also, that is during spring break. I want to point that out, correct?
The second one.
Yes, yeah, for the, that, I should have spoken up during discussion, but just so you know, that trip down there for all those days, is students are out of school that week for spring break. Well, I'm sorry I didn't bring that up earlier. All right.
Okay, personnel action. The superintendent recommends the approval of the following personnel actions. A, request to approve the resignation of Rhonda Smith as majorette sponsor, West Boston Middle School, effective January 13th, 2021.
I make a motion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Okay, motion carries. Request to approve the resignation of Anna Jones as assistant softball coach, West Boston Middle School, effective January 13th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion carries. Request to approve the resignation of Starla Conroy as head softball coach and cheer coach, West Boston Middle School, effective January 13th, 2021.
Make that motion. I second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Okay, motion carries. Request to approve Katina Lawley as CNP manager, West Blocker Middle School, effective January 13th, 2021.
I make that motion.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Okay, motion carries. Request to approve Nicole Bogadin as Cubs Director, West Blocker Elementary School, effective January 13th, 2021.
So moved.
I second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Okay, motion carries. Okay. Approval of substitutes. Request to approve the following substitutes. Alfonso Pringle, substitute bus driver.
I make that motion. I second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Okay, motion carries. And now we'll have the, our next board meeting will be January 20th, 2021 at 11:30. Our regular board meeting is Tuesday, February 9th, 2021 at 5 p.m.
Board members, there are a couple of hires that we didn't make tonight, haven't been able to make yet, in getting all of our information in. But we would be ready to do those. There is a webinar
Next
Wednesday at noon that some of you are coming to. If we can get at least 3 board members here, And certainly all of you, if you can make it, whether you want to stay for the 1 hour training or not. We do have a few district board hires, district positions that we need to fill. And we'd like to get those filled before our next meeting in February. So if you can come in at 11:30 on Wednesday, about 30 minutes before our webinar training session, we'll take care of those two. And I think there are possibly, a few more of these judge tryout choreographers and things that we still have out there that we need to clean up. So there'll just be a few items there. Just a few items there on
That's good,
Wednesday.
that's good to hear.
Few items there on Wednesday, and we can take care of those just immediately before the 1 hour training webinar.
Mr. McGee, do you know who you have in mind, who you're gonna choose?
Yes, sir. I think we do. It's just a matter of getting all the paperwork in and background checks, things like that. So we, that's what we're
But
expecting.
you want the meeting just to approve those people as far as the call board meeting?
Yes, sir.
It's just a thought. If you know who they are, in a matter of doing the paperwork, but you know who they are,
Yes, sir.
could we vote at this
Well,
time? to
I'll say
approve who you
this.
recommend and
Right.
in light that
I only
you're
know
gonna-
one of them, I think, for sure, and the other one, we're
Well,
actually,
you haven't made up your mind.
we're doing interviews tomorrow.
Okay,
the-
I
the-
understand.
One I know of, the recommendation's been made from one of our departments. We just haven't got all the paperwork in
Okay.
on that yet. But, yeah, if we can get three, a majority of board members here right before the meeting of the webinar training on Wednesday, we'll get those on a quick agenda and get those approved.
Another question.
Yes, sir.
Jamie, do we receive credit for that meeting? Do you know?
Wednesday will not be.
We do not.
Don't get an hour credit this Wednesday.
I'm not curious.
If you come, I'll buy you lunch.
He'll buy you lunch.
You know, I do yield a purchase sometimes, but if you need 3 board members here,
Yes, sir.
I'll
Well,
I'll commit. Are you coming?
if whatever reason, if we can, it can always,
I'll be here.
it can wait till the February meeting. I just thought since we had a webinar, we usually have at least 3 of you here, so. And then, other than that, our next board meeting in February, second Tuesday as always. As far as superintendent's remarks, as I mentioned earlier, right now, we're all on board with our students returning to school on Tuesday, a week from today. Tomorrow is the last day of the first semester. Thursday and Friday this week were scheduled teacher work day and professional development day that we normally have at the end of a semester. Monday is a holiday. Reverend Martin Luther King holiday is Monday, and then our students come back on Tuesday. And I've talked to several principals today, and I know the teachers are excited to see the students come back, and cases in the county following along on the various tracking dashboards. The state as a whole and our county, the numbers are still higher than they were, in August, September, October. They've been up since after Thanksgiving. But whereas we've had some high days in this county of 30 plus new cases, the last several days, the new cases have been 8, 11, 15, 7. So about, in some cases, half of what they were at what seemed to be the peak right before and right after Christmas. As always, we'll keep an eye on it, but right now, employee-wise, we seem to be okay as far as the number of employees that are quarantined or due to positive or otherwise. And from what we've had reported from parents over the time that we've been out, we don't have a lot of students that are positive. So we're good to come back and go on Tuesday, and everybody's looking forward to that, I believe. Well, I can't speak for all the kids. They may not be looking forward to it, but I know our teacher, faculty, and staff are. But that's all the remarks I have at this time. The legislative session starts February the 2nd, 3rd. We'll be down there with our superintendent's legislative pre-conference meeting, and so far everything looks good budget-wise for next year, 2021, 2022. There was an announcement this week, or actually it was last week, of new coronavirus relief funds, what we call GEAR funds and ESSER funds. And our expectation is quite a handsome amount of ESSER funds from the federal government. We've been told that about almost 4 times the amount that we got last spring. If that holds true, and it should, it would be just a little over or right at $3.5 million that Bibb County Schools will get for coronavirus relief efforts. Now, that can be spent in a few ways. There are, you can't just spend it on anything, but the state superintendent, Dr. Mackey, clearly indicated that the lion's share of that money is expected to be used to be spent on closing the gap or closing the learning losses that students have had this year due to coronavirus. That's what the money is being provided for. It can also be spent for certain mitigation factors such as UV lighting or HVAC, air purification type things, but the expectation is that you better be spending a good bit of it on things like summer school, maybe extended day learning, and those, not just this year, but on into 2022, 2023, that you budget that money to use for, to address student learning loss due to the coronavirus, and there's been a lot of that. So that was good news for the new ESSER money, and we'll be getting more information on that in the coming weeks. But that was good news. It's just nothing, nothing's good from coronavirus, but the one thing that it has done, the federal government stepped up and provided even school systems like ours millions of dollars to address that. We'd have never been able to put a Chromebook or a computer in every kid's hands without it. So if anything's come out of COVID, it's been the federal government's response to public schools with money to try to stem learning loss. So that's good news.
How many students do you know of that don't have access to internet where they can get online learning?
I'll have to say I don't have that exact number.
But there are some.
Oh yeah, we have students in our school system that do not have internet at home. Now, all parents had the opportunity to get internet in their homes through the governor's ABC for Students program. That's a program where initially ADECA was running that, and all a parent had to do was call a number, request a hotspot device, or and they would come, and it was for free internet. It was originally through December, and they've extended that now through June 30th. So any of our parents that took advantage of that now have that free internet provided through that grant, ABC for Students. is good through, June the 30th.
That-
But with
That's only if they have service provided.
No, this actually,
What if
they
in the
provide them.
boondocks where,
Is if they can get a cell service, they can be provided internet. Now, if you don't have any kind of cell coverage, and there are a few places in Bibb County that Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, there's a few places where nothing works. But as long as you had any kind of cellular service available, they would provide you with internet through cellular service, and it was free. And it's still free. The thing is, parents can no longer apply for that. They had up until the 1st of December to apply for it. And if you hadn't applied for it by then, it's over as far as applying for it. But it's those that did have it through June 30th of this year. Well, that being said, we still had a lot of parents that didn't even take advantage of that. They didn't make the call. And they don't have internet at home. We've parked school buses with internet access around different parts of the county. Before Christmas, we've got ways to check and know if anybody used that service, and nobody did before Christmas. Since Christmas, if Mr. Lowry's here, I think we've got one parked at Cedar Grove Baptist that some students up there are using. But even when we park buses like at Ashby Grocery, Lawley Volunteer Fire Department, I think up at Eolan Fire Department, even when we did that before Christmas, nobody was using that internet because Mr. Lawley, West Lawley, has a way to tell what they call pinged that internet provider, and students weren't doing it. Now, some did come to the schools because we have internet, wireless internet in our school, all of our school parking lots. Some did do that, but even when we put the buses out all around the county before Christmas, they weren't using it, and it was there and available. And right now, the only place they're doing that is at Cedar Grove, and I don't know, was it maybe 4 to 6 students,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Lowry?
Or from West Boston Elementary, yes, sir.
Right, that are using that. And if they'll call and request it, we can, we can find an area. We can put a bus there with Wi-Fi internet. But Mr. Moody, it's sad to say, there's a lot of parents that just haven't taken advantage of any of these opportunities, whether it's the government, the state's free internet, or what we're providing so that they don't have to drive so far. They're still not taking advantage of it. But a lot of kids are, though. But, we definitely have families that do not have internet.
Mr. McGee?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm on the other end of the Virgo school. I have some students that come to my house. The parents actually have internet, but they work.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I cannot believe what a great job our teachers are doing. It's
Oh.
outstanding. I mean, I'm so amazed. Of course, I stay off of the camera so they can't see me, so. But they can talk backwards and forth. The students can ask questions. I mean, I just can't believe how far and how great this is, and I just think the teachers should be really commended for the great job they're doing in this bad time.
Well, I've had quite a few express their, to me, and I hope they did to you, their gratitude for the extraordinary compensation that you approved. They absolutely appreciated the board's recognition of their work there, and if they haven't, if none of them, if they haven't reached out to you personally, I can tell you that they really appreciated that, and I'll say again, thank you for that, for passing that compensation, that $500 extraordinary compensation back in December. And you're right, the teachers are doing a great job, and still, that's without a whole lot of training
Right.
on the front end when this
We
hits.
have parents that have to work, even though they have internet, they still, they gotta have a place to go to do this, so. But I think they've done an excellent job, so I'm really proud of all of them.
Thank you.
The children are really smart on computers.
They are, a lot of them, been playing on computers, on Xboxes and those types of things, since they're old enough to sit up and stare at the screen. So they can't tell you they don't know how to download something or upload something. They've been doing that for years. All right, thank you, Ms. Jones.
One more question.
Yes, sir.
People gonna get mad at me out there for holding them, but they know they're free to leave. I wanna ask this. It's been a concern of mine, and you know, in a way, I bet you can guess what it is.
Yes, sir.
We need to buy land,
Yes, sir.
because I don't think anybody's gonna donate it, enough for the future building
Yes, sir.
in the north end of the county for our school facility. We need to get that acreage while we can, because someday it's not gonna be available. And I know that you know, I pointed out to you.
Well, I've spoken with you about a couple of tracks that.
And I'm
that are available.
gonna stay on it. We've got to get it, Mr.
All
McGee.
right, I have reached out to a couple of landowners for some, I think I've told you, you have to have, I think, I'll go back and read, it's either 40 or 60 acres are required for any kind of new school
40 at
construction.
least, I
I
think.
believe it's 40, and then it's so many acres per 100 students after that. But we do have a couple of sites that we're looking at, and I'll definitely, I have stayed on that. I am waiting to hear. I think we definitely can do that, and what I'm hearing you say is if we're ever at an opportunity to pull the trigger on that, you'd like to see us. do
I
that.
love that. I mean, in reality, at my age, I'll never see it develop into a new school,
Yes, sir.
but I'd love to know that the land will be there
Yes, sir.
in case the citizens of Bibb County, someone or other see to increase the ad valorem tax, and I wouldn't bet money on that at any odds, but anyway,
Well, there are places that's happening, so.
right, I won't say it's beyond a possibility. We tried it before, and it came close,
Yes, sir.
but that was years ago, and surely the interest in children has increased more than what it was then, I hope. But anyway, that's about all I'm gonna say on it, other than the north end eventually is gonna develop. It would develop more now if land was available for decent housing. And it's coming. I mean, it can't help but come.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna say this, I think we could get the mayors of the north end and the city council members to, if you need their help, if it lies within the city limits,
Yes, sir.
I've talked to them, and I think they would be on board and helping us negotiate. Sometimes it takes a little pressure.
Yes, sir.
These big land companies, really, they've got to have pressure sometimes.
Well, you're right, they're not gonna give it to you.
No, they're not gonna
But a lot
give
of
it to you.
times if it's something like a government entity, or school, hospital, something like that, they're a little more willing to
Right.
work with you.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Than anybody else. So I do have, and I will keep you abreast of those.
I appreciate
those
it.
things.
Thank
Certainly will. Yes, sir.
Okay, any other discussions? If not, do I have a request to adjourn?
Make it motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No opposers, or? Okay. All right, that's it.